Get the ball to Bradley if you can. With them. Go to the rim now. You're up top.
4 to go. Butler.
Go to the rim.
2 to go. Butler has to put it up for the win. Butler sinks it at the buzzer. And he is mobbed by his team. The officials will take one more look.
Wow.
But Lamont Butler, did the miracle come in time?
Wow, what a shot.
We game time ready. Welcome to my gym where the crowd stays heavy. Keep the bus running cause this won't take long. 4 minutes left, here the show still going strong. We game time ready. Opponents can't sleep when they leave. No Freddy, it's the Aztecs in the house tonight. Hoop squad on deck. Who's next to fight?
I kind of get a boner when I hear that music, to be honest with you, dude. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. You know?
Welcome back to another episode of the Sons of Montezuma podcast. Today, it's me and Mike holding down the fort.
Wearing his Lamont Butler shirt.
Of course. You know I had to, man. Man, what a game. The Butler did it. I mean, what else can you say? The Butler did it.
I couldn't sleep, man. I had trouble getting to sleep, dude. I was pretty amped up on that one, dude.
All right, Mike. So tell me, how many times did you watch the replay of Lamont Butler's buzzer-beating play? How many times did you watch it last night before you finally went to sleep?
Dude, I like a lot, because when it happened, it was kind of surreal when it happened, and I was like, slow-mo, all right, go, and then he was just calm, composed, and he's like, you know, it was very Kobe-like to me, honestly. Just he knew where he was going. He knew where he had a spot on the floor he wanted to go to, and you know, and a lot, at least a dozen times, at least a dozen, maybe a million times. It was incredible. It was awesome.
Well, this is the Sons of Montezuma podcast, guys. It's your host, Mateo San Diego. You can find me at Mateo San Diego on Twitter, and I'm joined with Mike Tortolot, our sandwich and basketball aficionado. You can find him
Michael
at Mike Tortolot. Or
Michael Tortolot.
I don't even know what your handle is. I can't remember off the top of my head. But
At Mike Tortolot.
And if you're anything like us, you are a diehard of Aztecs basketball. So I know you were waking up really groggy this morning after all the excitement last night. We're going to get into everything. The Aztecs win 73-71 over New Mexico in the pit. We were all at Ale Smith. Mike was not there, of course, but you know, a lot of us were representing down at Ale Smith Brewery. So I want to start off this episode. Hey, thanks to SDSU. Thank you to Ale Smith, you know, the Aztec Club, putting this thing together the other night to watch this amazing game. It was months in the making with Ale Smith there at the brewery, Mike. And I'm sorry you couldn't be there, man. It was an amazing atmosphere full of beer, burritos, and basketball, of course. Buzzer beaters, hey, we got the buzzer beater as well. So you got to factor that into the equation. It was a watch party like I've never been to. I've never been to an event like this for Aztec sports in general, man.
I mean, Brandon Richards sent me a video of it, and it was packed, and he said it was awesome. I'm not a huge viewing party guy. Because I like to watch the game at home because I'm up, I'm pacing, I'm sitting down, I'm all over the place. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very I wouldn't say schizophrenic, but I like watching it with a group is cool, but then it's like people are talking to you and I can't get it, but I know the vibe was awesome. It looked amazing.
Your Tourette's comes out when you watch the game. Is that what you're saying? Your Tourette's?
No. I'm not I don't cuss and things like that. Like, you know, sometimes I get to the point, you know, you get to the point when you get older, especially as a San Diego sports fan with all the shit we've been through. You're just kind of like, all right, bro, whatever, dude. You know what I mean? Because there's, you know, why get upset? Because you're just like, all right, whatever. And during that game, there was a few with the fouls. We shot 4 free throws to their whatever 20, but they found
it could have went real bad. It could have went south. Really, I mean, it did, you know, for a minute there.
But they figured it out. They found a way to win. Trammell all of a sudden just like boom, like a spark caught fire, you know. But it looked amazing. I love Ale Smith. That's my favorite beer.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. They had a band there. They had photo booths. They had basketball, in the little free throw game challenge, and just TVs everywhere. Of course, the beer and the Mexican food helps, right? It's all a great atmosphere, and it wasn't raining, so that was a great thing, right? It wasn't really raining that much. Aztec Nation came out in full force, man. That place was packed, and to see familiar faces, we had 2 watch parties there already leading up to this one, so it was like you get to meet other Aztecs fans, get to share about Sons of Montezuma, and hey, we walked out of there with the win, right? So hey, got the extra tall can here, can. But I'm being responsible this morning. Plenty of water because it was a long night.
No, I mean, the flag should have a flagship like that to have a gathering place. I know sometimes it's McGregor's, but it's kind of ad hoc. But A.L. Smith is a great spot to have it, and especially this time of year. This to me is really you just
gut wrenching.
Yeah, you win or go home, man. If you were to lose to New Mexico, that changes the whole dynamic of going forward. Now you essentially have to win one of the next 2, and we don't play well in Boise, so that's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, we knew from the beginning of the year this team had the potential to really grab the attention from San Diego sports fans in a similar fashion that the Padres have kind of just taken a hold of the whole city. Of course, that's professional sports. I get it. But, with this game last night, that video was crazy. I thought I was almost scared for myself, dude, because people were losing their
They should have. I mean, that doesn't happen that often to win a game like that. You know what I mean? Like that was the down 13 that we had not been down 13 since the Arizona game. Dude, Lamont, man, that was a spot. I know I've seen him doing shooting in practice from that spot, and that's where he feels comfortable, it looks like. So good for him, man. I mean, he can score with anybody, and when he's aggressive and fast like that, and he's awesome.
Before we go any further, we're going to bring things down just a little bit because that community aspect of it, it's important to me. And of course, with Sons of Montezuma, we have ourselves a really good team of content creators, of supporters, whether they're, actually creating or not. We've built ourselves a really fun and interactive community with the watch parties and tailgates, and of course the website and our clothing and all that good stuff. But we all have that connection of San Diego State, and whether it's Scholastic or whether it's athletics, it's a community. And so we're missing one of our anchors here at the Kiss the Rings episodes, and that's SD Sports Fiend, of course. When he's not here, it's a big void to fill. One of the most things I'm proud about with Sons of Montezuma is that the passionate fans really have gravitated towards what we're doing. I think they see it, and so knowing Fiend, I mean, his name says it all, man. He's just incredibly passionate about San Diego sports. So while we're all hooting and hollering and celebrating and going crazy, it was kind of a bittersweet day yesterday, definitely, where we want to send our best wishes and thoughts and prayers to Fiend and his family. It's really looking like he may be taking the rest of the season off. Life happens, reality hits you, where aside from sports and entertainment and all that stuff is all fun and well, but he gave us a statement to read on the pod, because I know a lot of people are going to be wondering, well, where is he? He's such a diehard fan and you see him everywhere. Probably not going to make the tournament this year. So he's taking a time out from the rest of the season and the show, of course, to grieve the passing of his mom, which was just this weekend. So just a very tough situation to go through, and to still maintain focus on the game is impossible. So, but for Fiend, he definitely wanted to let everybody know that he was watching the game, and the win at the pit was incredible. So many clutch performances by so many Aztecs, including Lamont's game-winning, banner-clinching 3 that will live forever in the minds of Aztecs fans. It really showed that this team is ready. They're ready to survive and advance in March, and he can't wait to be a part of the journey. And to the Aztecs account, he wants to say thank you for sharing the post-game locker room celebration with all of Aztec Nation live on Instagram. It really lifted my spirits, and you've brought me so much joy, for which I am grateful. Good luck at Boise State, and go Aztecs. So that's from our guy. We're hurting for him, but Fiend, whenever you're ready to come back, you take your time, and you know, just hope all the best for you and your family, and hope to see you soon.
Love you, bro.
All right, man. So before we get all into the game, you know, I wanted to bring along our content creator who also helps write some of our articles, and that's Mike Minares. He's Aztec for life. He's helped us out very much this basketball season, writing a lot of our content articles, previews, and whatnot. And he's got a really good approach to the game and to Aztecs basketball. He's had some opportunities to work alongside the Mesa Foundation. He's at the food bank, working there at the food bank. So he had some really cool opportunities to work with the Mesa Foundation. So we're going to bring him on in. What's up, Mike?
What's happening?
What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Well, thanks for coming in, man. You know, it's kind of a short notice thing, but with all the work you've been doing and giving all the fans their previews, like, you know, what a game last night.
Yeah, terrific game last night. Kind of went as expected, you know, a bit of a dogfight back and forth. New Mexico certainly made a run and showed why, you know, they started the season 14-0. Their top five are some good players. They got ballers, no doubt about it. But, you know, we showed some resilience. We showed the heart of a champion last night. And kudos to Lamont for getting it done.
I was looking at the stats. Lamont only played just under 20 minutes in the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I saw Ledee only played less than 9. And, you know, if you told me before the game that Ledee's going to play less than 9 and not have any rebounds, I would have said we're done. We're toasted for sure.
And how about this? Fouls out. So tell me, guys, the first topic of the game, OG Mike Tortolot. Tell me, man, because, okay, 9 minutes. 9 minutes for Ledee, and he fouls out. I mean, tell me about the foul disparity between these two teams. I mean, 22 free throws, what is it that New Mexico got compared to our 4, and they were all in the first half?
Yeah, I mean, he got 9 minutes, 5 fouls. I don't know. That's just a tough game, man. You know, the refs. It was physical, and the refs were calling it more on our bigs than theirs because I don't know if it's Udeze not having eyebrows that scared them, and they don't want to call foul on them, or what that's all about. But I noticed. I mean, they called, you know, 4 free throws to their 22 is a pretty fantastic disparity. But hey, you know what? Like I said, just win, baby. Just win, you know, baby. They figured out a way to win. Ledee got his 5 fouls in 9 minutes. And it's just one of those weird games that, you know, the home team usually gets the calls, and they got quite a few more calls than we did.
I don't know if you saw in that first, like, opening minute or two, House, like, intentionally trips Nathan Mensah while after he blocked his shot. They didn't even give a review at the scores table to look at it. It was just like, oh, no. And even announcers were like, oh, they just happened to crash into each other. Like, I don't understand how you don't check that out.
You know, even with Parrish's 3 that they didn't check, that was definitely a 3. So I don't know, weird officiating, but figured out a way to win in another fashion in another game this year. So
I'll tell you one area that we got help on, and that was a rope. I think he did cross that center line and go back.
He did.
But, you know, hey.
Well, I don't know. I think it was you have to have both feet over and the ball over.
Yeah.
Is the rule correct?
That's what the announcer said. Yeah. That's what the rule was. So the ball never made it cross.
No, he just put a foot over. So that is the rule of law. So it was a little more uncomfortable. I was like, oh shit, man. But hey, they called it right.
Okay. All right. See, I couldn't really hear all that, you know, being over there at Alesmith. It was everybody's going nuts and yelling, you know, like, oh, don't cross the line. Don't cross the line.
Yeah, it was Pete Gillen on the analyst, you know, from our Xavier coach was there, and he knows the Mountain West pretty well. So it was kind of interesting listening to his calls, you know, especially at the end on the Lamont play. You know, he's screaming, take it to the rim, and it didn't happen. But, you know, Gillen typically has some good insights, and he's one that quickly kind of talked about the rule about having 2 feet over and having the ball cross as well. So I'll trust Pete Gillen. The guy knows a lot. He's been around forever and a day.
I do. I usually like when he's on the call.
Mm-hmm.
I do. He usually has some pretty good insight. So the first half, you know, it was tough. I mean, we were down 10 at the half, and that last possession where a rope goes up for like a putback and the ball just goes in and out. It was like the perfect, you know, play to kind of sum up that first half. We love to make fun of New Mexico, right? But they do. This is a quality team. Like I actually really enjoy watching them play because they have such fantastic guard play. They're aggressive. I mean, House is out there playing with the, you know, his freaking mouthpiece hanging out outside of his mouth, just taking it to the rack. Udezi's all over the place. I mean, they're a fun, entertaining team to watch. If they're your team, most likely, right?
Mhm.
But, this was the first opportunity for this team to play inside the pit, at the pit.
Mhm.
I think people, they don't really understand when that place is rocking. That's one of the toughest places to play.
Mhm.
Every Aztec great we interview say that's the place. That's the toughest place to play in the Mountain West.
Well, agreed. And they were talking about they had the largest crowd last night since 2009, which tells you the type of game it was. And the announcers even said on the broadcast that, they were walking around different restaurants and places in town that morning, and everybody was talking about this game. Everybody's sights were set on this game. I mean, New Mexico knew they had to have this. This was their season on the line. If they get a second win against a ranked San Diego State team, they can start making the case that, hey, we belong in the tournament. Because San Diego State, obviously, almost a lock to be in March Madness. So it definitely was huge on that end. And I when I read the preview, that's when I knew it was going to be focused. That team was going to be intense, and they were going to dial it in. They were going to give everything. And you saw House playing his guts out. Mudeze was excited. Mashburn got hot, and the leading scorer, and showed you what he's all about. And yet somehow San Diego State weathers that and is in a position with up 4 with 20 seconds to go or whatever it might be. And you're thinking, okay, we've got it. Just a one stop, we want a good play right here. We got it. And all of a sudden we brain cramp yet again at the end. And, Mensa fouls a 3-point shooter that didn't have to happen. But again, is that the moment? Is that the crowd? Is that all of it put together? You don't quite understand. But, obviously winning in the pit is a tough thing to do, especially this year. And to see the Aztecs come out with that win that they had to have in order to secure that Mountain West championship was just an awesome sight.
I was thinking a lot of those similar things, right? The pit. It's a tough place. It's a tough environment to play, one of the toughest. So it kind of favors, okay, when you get to that neutral site in the tournament, whether it's the Mountain West or the Big Dance, okay, it's a neutral site. You're not going to have, as many screaming student sections and the home crowd. It's an even playing field. But we've seen this team, the memories of last year against Creighton are not going to disappear until they win a tournament game. So that environment, I think it has less to do with that than just the moment. It's the moment. And after, Mensa fouled that 3-point shot, and then we blow the turnover trying to get the ball across center court, all the grumblings. Here we go again. Why do they struggle so bad? What is it going to take for this team to shut the door and close out these games in a much better fashion?
Yeah, that's happened twice, but this time they won, and Arkansas they lost. So yeah, you make a shot like that, but that kind of is a destiny thing to me. You have a 50% shot, a chance of making it. Really, it's either going to go in or it's not. So he ended up making it, and that can propel you one way, and then if you lose, it could propel you another way. So I'm curious to see how that's going to affect New Mexico and how it's going to affect us. If we go in there now, I remember we're fans. We're fans.
Mm-hmm.
We have no idea how tired and exhausted those guys are at the end of the game. I remember I was watching a basketball game with my grandfather, and he was a professional athlete, and my uncle was saying something, and my grandpa goes, dude, you have no idea what it's like the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game. You have absolutely no clue what it's like. These guys are grinding. They're digging down deep. You're going to make a mistake once in a while. It just happened to be 2 mistakes with Mensa and Trammell, and, they made a mistake, but their teammates picked him up. And so the camaraderie of that team after he made that shot, running out on the court like that and getting together shows me, obviously, we know they were tight. And I think they're now understanding how to play with each other and just go out and win. And I think these guys watching a game like that, these are big time players now that we have surrounding each other. Trammell flipped a switch. I think this is what he's been waiting for, is these games like this to go out and play big. We all know what Bradley can do. Keyshot's playing well. Parrish he's like that. Is Parrish kind of like that Robert Horry? We're going to find out. Right. And so to me, there's a lot of chaos in NCAA this year. A lot of chaos. I don't know what's going on. We're not even going to get into what the hell is going on in Alabama. That's an atrocity of sports. That's ridiculous. You can cut that if you want. I mean, the guy shouldn't be playing. There's no reason for that guy to be playing on the court, regardless. He shouldn't be on the court, period. So you look at, you don't know what's going on. You see Purdue losing and then UCLA losing and Arizona losing at the buzzer. This is just one where you get the right matchup and you get going with our guys, who I would put up against anybody right now. This is March. Remember Trey Kell? He had that shot to beat Houston and he missed it. It just happens. Like I said in the last couple podcasts, you got to have a lot of magic going your way to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament. Because look at the guy for Butler, Gordon Hayward. He almost made it to win the national title. It was a little deeper, but he didn't. So, to me, it's let's go play Boise. Just worry about Boise, and then we can talk about Wyoming at home, and then we can go from there. But
time to go donkey hunting, as they do in Reno.
Donkey hunting, dude. But like this to me is a game where Trammell flipped the switch and everybody started playing well. And Butler just, he looked like as cool as a polar bear's toenails when he came up with that ball and shot it.
I love the video that Phil Scott putting out all the routine, the practice, that the exact same shot. Exact mannerisms, everything. It's something he's done, hit him, multiple times in a row in practice. So he's been working on that. It wasn't a mystery. It wasn't a fluke. It wasn't, Let's talk a little bit about Trammell though, because that first half, the offense wasn't flowing. It was very much, the ball was getting stuck. And even Dutcher said in the post game, said that first half, it just, we weren't getting the ball movement that we needed. The team looked tight. I think that environment kind of affected them a lot. They had to dig deep, like you said, Mike, and in that halftime, come out guns blazing, just a different mindset, kind of get comfortable in their surroundings. And they really focused in on getting the ball down on the block, getting the ball to the bigs. But Trammell, I mean, geez, how many 3-pointers did he have? He had
it was 4 for 9.
4 in a row.
Four in a row in that second half. Yeah. Any notes on Trammell's game you want to give us, Mr. Minyares?
Yeah, so I mean, Trammell has had a rough go of it lately. There's no denying it. I mean, the guy struggled offensively. I mean, you're talking 4 points a game, 3 points a game. He's having a rough time getting the ball go in the basket. And as a shooter, as a guy that came in as a known scorer, was a leading scorer in the WAC last year, you were expecting more. I know I was expecting more. And so not that you want to give up on a player, but you kind of want to see some different activity going on, maybe take the ball to the hole a little bit more, maybe work some more screens so you get more open shots. But to the guy's credit, I think he was like 1 for 8 to start the game yesterday, and he was struggling and he knew it. But when he hit that corner three, right in front of the bench, he turned around immediately to that bench and it was almost like, yes, thank goodness, I finally hit one. And then boom, he comes back and he hits a 2-pointer right then. And then he has that curl off of Mensah, off the out-of-bounds play, and nails that 3. And all of a sudden, that belief now starts growing. And in a player like that, that's all that needs to happen. Doesn't matter what's happened up until that point. When he gets on a roll that way, and he's had the success that Trammell has had over his career, he knows the next shot's going in. And that was exciting to see. There was a one shot I know he took, and I'm screaming, no, oh, what's he doing? And he hits it, I think off the dribble, and he's fading away, and the guy hits it. And so it's great to see. It's great to see a player like that. I just watched a video of them in the locker room. He's on a chair and he's got his hands in his head, and he's kind of looking at it, and he looked at the camera and basically said, this is why I came here, for a ring. I want the ring. And you know what? He did it yesterday. He came through when they needed somebody in the second half, down 13, to start making some shots. Trammell stepped up and made shots, and that's what you want to see, especially from a senior who had that rep. And so good for him. Good on him. Let's keep it going now. Now that you found it, like, Mike T was talking about, maybe he's unlocked something, let's keep this going. Let's keep that hot streak going. Let's get some more buckets in there. Let's kind of share the load down on the offensive side, and let's make a run.
I want to talk about Matthew Bradley. And the reason I say Matthew Bradley instead of Matt Bradley is because I have a buddy who's named Matthew, and his wife always tells me, do not call him Matt. So I just call everybody Matthew. So what was he doing at half court? Remember when they scored and everyone was going, and he just stood at half court, and I don't know what he was doing. Was he staring at House, who I don't understand why you have a mouthpiece and you don't use it unless you're like on the free throw line. And then his body, this theatrics of his body language is crazy. I heard he skipped the handshake line and went to the locker room. That's a punk ass move, dude. Like, if you're gonna play the game, don't be Cam Newton, bro. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna play, enjoy the good, but you gotta like I said, win with class, lose with grace. But like, that if he did that, that's unfortunate, man, because that's just not right. You know?
Especially all that trash talk he was doing in
Yes.
Viejas just after every play,
Yeah.
looking at the fans, throwing it up at the fans, and you can't even shake the hand after. Come on.
That's just common courtesy. I mean, it's a sport, man. It's not like, your end of days. I mean, but like, it's just disappointing, but I'm curious to see what Matt Bradley what that was all about. Hopefully somebody asked him. I don't know because he wasn't like saying anything. He was standing there like,
You're just stunned.
yeah, he was like, and so, but everybody played well. I mean, Ledee just had a tough night, unfortunately.
So if you listen to Dutcher's post game, he was saying the plan was for, I believe, Lamont to take it to the rim, right? Just as they were saying on the commentator on thing. So I just think everybody was probably just shocked that he pulled up for a three and just hit it, that Butler would hit it so perfectly. And that environment, everything just went quiet. So yeah, I'm sure Bradley was in shock.
Yeah, I think to Mike's point, when you look at Bradley and there's that video of Seiko, who was also on the court at the same time, and they had a similar look in their face after the game. And I think, the way I kind of interpreted it was, if you're Matt Bradley and you left Cal because you weren't having much success as a team. Now, he had personal success for sure, but as a team, they weren't winning. And he came to San Diego State to win. And last year, we didn't get it done. Lost to Boise in a couple close games. Shavers, was clutch at the end in the conference tournament or conference title, and also in the conference tournament. Same thing happened. So Bradley comes to San Diego State knowing we win championships, we win rings, and he doesn't get one last year. That's got to hurt. That's got to make you wonder, hey, did I make the right decision? And some of it was on him. I mean, he didn't play great at the end. We can talk about Creighton missed free throws, but, before that, he had opportunities and didn't get it done. Last night, I think, to actually see another player come in and hit that clutch shot at the buzzer after you've given away a 4-point lead in 20 seconds to secure that Mountain West championship, at least a share of it. I think for a player like Butler, that's that relief. That's like, wow, we finally did it. Like I'm a champion. I am a champion in college basketball in my league. To me, that was the look that he had. And yeah, he wasn't the one that hit the winning shot but he still played well. He led the team in assists yesterday.
Yeah.
Bradley's passing game is underrated for sure. I mean, he has had some games where he has dished the ball. That dime he gave to Ledee on the slam dunk was a terrific pass. And he spun out of the way, kind of sidestepped the defender, make sure he didn't get the charge. So Bradley's game is so much more multidimensional than I expected. And it's been great to see. I love a player who is known as a scorer, but doesn't have to score to impact positively the game. And last night, yeah, he scored, but man, those assists were key. And I just felt like at that last game-winning shot moment, he just felt the relief of a champion for the first time in college.
Absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head right there. That first half, it felt like it was all on his shoulders. There wasn't a lot of ball movement. It was a lot of off the ball movement. It was all on Bradley's shoulders. So just that release of that weight, like, yes, we got it done. Butler stepped up and nailed it. That's awesome. I know that's something Mike T. I like that. I know that's something Mike T. We've talked about in previous episodes. It's like, let him be that facilitator, that playmaker. With Butler, man, I mean, what a story. Everybody's talking about it. I love listening to Schaefer in the post game and bringing up those quotes that he had in the UT Butler after that Arkansas, debacle. And it was something that I had heard and really, made a point of writing it down, coming out with a shirt, with those quotes, because they were so powerful about how those 6 seconds can't define who he is. He's not going to allow it to define who he is. And you just got to, be humble, stay humble, work hard, and win more games. And that's what it's all about, right, Mike? Got to win more games.
Dude, 6 seconds in Arkansas kind of went one way, and 6 seconds in New Mexico went another way for him. And let's just call it what it is, man. I don't know if there's been another player that's come into the program as decorated a scorer in high school as Lamont Butler.
This is true.
I mean,
broke Reggie Miller's scoring record out there in the Inland Empire.
Reggie wasn't as good as Cheryl, but still, Reggie Miller's Reggie Miller. I mean, so
like he with the shot on the
yeah. I mean, do you remember that story about Reggie Miller? You ever heard that story about Reggie Miller? He's like, "Mom, I scored 50," and he got in the car, and Mom's like, "Oh, your sister scored 100." He's like, what? That's a great story, So, but like, I mean, Lamont, he's such a good kid, man. He's so like just humble, and
Yeah.
I've seen him a few times, and he's just, oh, hey man, what's going on? It's just he's very and it's just he's a good kid, and I'm so happy that he's got the opportunity to take that shot and win it.
Mhm.
And then the rest of the team. I mean, like I said, only Keyshawn and Seiko had played in the pit, because of COVID and all that stuff. And that's I talked to Winston. We talked to Winston. He didn't like it down there. Jamal didn't like it down there. No, it's a tough environment. They're very interesting human beings down there. So
going back to Lamont a little bit, when we decided we wanted to work with him, obviously we would love to work with the whole team, but Lamont and the family, Lamont Senior and the family was just, we just knew we wanted to represent him from day one. I mean, like you said, very well decorated coming out of high school, but you just see it, man, just the humbleness, the work ethic, and just so much potential. So to see him, like you said, man, 6 seconds, I love that. 6 seconds, in Arkansas to these 6 seconds in New Mexico, like just to see the full circle of a performance. And hey, there's still plenty more to go. But this moment in time is going to be just an all-time Aztec moment that we'll never forget. We're never going to forget this game in his career or in Aztec basketball history. So just a phenomenal play for phenomenal young man.
I mean, two of my favorite games of all time against New Mexico. This one, and then when we beat them, the 1-3-1.
Oh yeah,
was that 14? Was it 14?
Poli coming at the point.
Yeah, Holy. And then they beat them down by like whatever, man. That run, I still watch
19, I think.
Yeah, I think it was like 15 or 16 or something. It was, I don't know, man. As you get older, those years start to combine, right? But like that one was to win the conference, and this one was to win the conference too. So it's, that was awesome. I mean, it was amazing to come back and win that game.
We might have to get Mr. Poli's opinion on that game pretty soon. We might have to do that.
Yeah. Well, Mateo, to talk about Lamont real quick. The thing that always impresses me, and I was talking with my parents today, actually, my parents were awesome. They were at my house watching the game. My dad's 80, my mom's 77, and they were into the game last night. And then they raced home at halftime. And then my first thing I saw my dad today, he's like, what a game. Good to see Butler shot. I was like, oh, Dad, yeah. My dad's all into it, But my mom was asking me about Butler. And I said, Mom, I'll share with you what my impression of him. What I've read about him is he is the biggest recruiter for San Diego State. That when he committed to SDSU, he got on the phone to buddies and said, hey, you need to come join me. We got something going on down here at San Diego State. And I've heard over and over again that when they bring recruits in, he's the one they want talking to them. He's the one that they want to. He shows people around San Diego. He talks about this place. I mean, the love that he has for San Diego State is just so amazing to see. I mean, it's like the passion that we have, for this place. And so I was so happy for him. And that's why I put in a tweet out there that I was so happy that he hit that shot because of the troubles that he's had, because of that reputation that he came in with as a scorer. And he really hasn't been that type of a player. He's been a different type of player here, and he's kind of found his role and he's starting to star in it. But that Arkansas game was rough for him. He's had a couple other games where he's kind of made some mistakes at the end. And so there was some lack of confidence, I think, on the fans in Butler at the end of the game. And so last night for him to just step up and, like, as Mike T said, calmly get there in 6 seconds. The guy did not rush. He did not panic in any way, shape, or form. He rose up, like you said, he'd done in practice hundreds of times before, and nothing but the bottom of the net. I mean, absolutely fantastic. And so, yeah, I'm thrilled for Aztecs. I'm thrilled to have another title and a banner coming up in Viejas Arena rafters. But honestly, I'm really excited for him because I think there isn't a better representative of SDSU basketball than Lamont Butler Jr. And I think it's fantastic that he's going to enjoy this success now, and that he'll always remember this moment, the day that they clinched at least a share of the 2022-23 Mountain West Championship. He hit the game-winning shot. What a memory. What a memory to tell your grandkids down the line.
Well said.
Yeah, that was
all 13, right, guys.
13-14.
13-14.
New Mexico. That's a decade ago, bro. FYI.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
The 10th anniversary next year, I guess, right?
Yeah, well, it's, you know what they say is long days and fast years.
Truth. All right, guys. So where does this leave us? Because I know last week we were texting back and forth, and Mike was like, hey, if we had to choose between beating New Mexico or Boise, who would you pick? And, I think the consensus was probably Boise because, they're the closest behind us. But Boise lost to San Jose State. Who would have saw that? Hey, San Jose State's physical, but they don't really have that score that can take over, and they don't really have the scoring capability to finish their shots, but they're getting better. But that was a surprise. So we started the day knowing that Boise lost, and hey, this game we were gonna be able to either cut down some nets or get a banner that you saw with the trophy. But now we come in Tuesday on the road in Boise, another crazy environment it's going to be there despite their loss. BJ Rains tweeted out that they're opening up more of the student section for sale because they're expecting a sellout in that place. They love to play the Aztecs.
We're like 2-5 in the last 10 years there, or something like that. We didn't play the COVID year because they're both here, and then we skipped out 1 or 2 years. Obviously, we beat them in 1920, and I think we only beat them in like 15-16 or something like that. And we've lost the other games. I think we're 2-5 in the last 7 games, not necessarily 7 years because of some switches there. But I'm glad we beat New Mexico. Hopefully, we beat Boise. That would be great to go up there and win. And to your point, San Jose's got that Amari Moore, who's a pretty good scorer, dude. I mean, he's pretty solid, and that also slid San Jose State into the 5 position, so they get a bye in the first round, which I don't think a lot of people have seen. But Tim Miles has done a great job up there. Yeah. I'd rather have them play whoever's the 4 seed, and then we play them, honestly. But we like I said it a couple of times back, we tend to struggle in Boise. So hopefully we come in and we just go in and just say, you know what, screw it, let's just go in and blow them out, which we probably won't, and have that mentality and win the game. Because it's going to be a good game because they want revenge after we blew them out, and now that Shaver's back. Yeah,
this is a game that I worry not so much for the fact that we're going into Boise, but the emotional bounce back after Saturday. That was an emotional, intense game for both teams. And so for the Aztecs to go down 10 at the half, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, same as what happened at Viejas, and the Lobos stomped us, and House was, knocking on our heads every basket. You're thinking the same thing. And they got up to a 13-point lead in the second half, and now you're like, well, we got very little chance now. We're not hitting anything. All of a sudden, to make that comeback, to get the lead, to blow it, to win it, to get us share the championship, to see the photos and the video in the locker room where they're so excited, and then to get on the plane and come back to San Diego. Apparently, they practiced today. They're practicing on Monday. And then to fly out to Boise on Tuesday. Can you, as a player, get up again to go a conference rival who is out to beat you because of what you did to them without their best player on their home court? Leon Rice is going to have his team ready. He always does. That's a great coach. I don't know what anybody happens off the court, but man, that guy on the court, he knows what he's doing. He's a very good coach and has his team ready. Max Rice had a great game against New Mexico to beat them. They've got some players, and Shavers is back. So I think, we match up well. My concern is the emotional piece of it. We're coming off a high where we've accomplished something, where kids who came here for a ring know that they're getting a ring. Can we get that intensity back to where it needs to be to compete for a team who's dying to get a share of the conference title now, and hoping that somehow Wyoming can get us, in the next week? So that's my concern. My concern is a matchup. My concern is emotional.
Boise, talking about Boise State, they are statistically the top defensive team in the conference, which is pretty tough to think, followed by Fresno and then us. Not that far apart, but still, they're a stout defense. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to see Tuesday night. Might have to cruise on back up to AleSmith. We'll see. What's up?
So we've been top 21 in net defense in the last 4 years, between the last 4 years.
What is Mikey a stats guy now? Are you a metrics guy now?
No, bro. I'm a stats. I don't like metrics. I don't like efficiency. We actually won the game being less efficient. I texted Fiend. He gave me the middle finger. So, but like Dutcher's only lost one game at home, conference game at home, since he's been coach per year. One game. Give me a sec here. I got a 25-6 in the last 31 conference road games, I believe, give or take, which is pretty good. I think, considering everybody has troubles on the road, and we're 8-2 this year in games decided by 7 points or less.
Yeah, it'd be nice to come out of Boise with a win and be able to know that you go into Wyoming and you can, play players, you can celebrate. It's not like that one time where we raised the rafters and then got beat. let's not do that. Let's not repeat that performance. Maybe we do the rafter banner raising beginning of next season like we typically have done it. Let's let this season be what it is, and let's get another win against Wyoming. But that Boise State game is going to be good, and it's going to be a great test because at this point of the season, this is what you want. You're playing great teams now. There's no more gimmies, and so for a team like San Diego State that has aspirations for a deep run in March. Let's see it. Can you bring it every night, every couple of days? Can you bring it? And it doesn't matter who your opponent is. Can you put your best foot forward? Can you put on your best performance? Now, the one thing with SDSU this year we've seen, there isn't one player that carries them. Every day, it seems like every game is a different player who steps up and becomes that player of the evening. But we need to put together a run like we're doing, where we're showing up every night and performing at our best. Otherwise, we're going to have a short stay in the tournament once again.
I think of it like this. I know you guys are giving me a hard time. I think of it like more like a coach, right? Just one game at a time. We're guaranteed 3 more games. That's it.
My wife, exact same thing. Yep.
Yeah, we're guaranteed. Yeah. I'm pretty confident we're going to be in this NCAA tournament. But we're guaranteed 3 games: Boise, Wyoming in the first round of the Mountain West Conference tournament.
100% agree.
To me, that's when I get like, all right, these games are, because if you play San Jose State in mid-January, you have 5, 6, 7, 8 more games left, 9 games. Now you're like, all right, you got Boise and you got Wyoming, and then you got the first round. There's no guarantees after that. I mean, there really isn't. I mean, we're gonna be in the tournament, so we probably have say we have 4 games, but that's it. Then you look at like the end of the season, and you're like, oh, I don't want it to end, and I feel like this has been a quick season, but it's been fun. So I don't know. I look at it like that. That's like, to me, just figure out a way to win, and look at how many ways they've figured out a way to win this year. I had a buddy from my buddy from the video from UNR left me at halftime. No, everybody gives me a hard, like everybody's calling me when we're like down at halftime. Everybody around, all my friends. And I'm like, bro, I don't bug you when Nevada's getting blowing a 21-point lead. I don't text you. I don't bug you, right? So he left me a voicemail I sent to Mateo.
Michael, it's Cody. Hey, you can't duck me. You can't throw San Diego versus Nevada stats at me all day long and then duck me when you're playing at the pit and getting smoked by 10 at the half, clearly being outplayed. What are you shooting? 14% from 3, maybe 30% from the field. Terrible, absolutely terrible. But the pit's a dangerous place. Nevada can handle the pit because Nevada's a great team. I'm just sorry to see that San Diego is struggling, but you'll get there. You'll make it. I promise. Have a good night.
I called him after the game and he didn't answer. I said, hey, I saw you left a voicemail. I wasn't sure what it was. Did you need something?
Hey, returning your call.
Yeah, I missed a call from this number. But no, I mean, I love this, man. I'm excited to go to Vegas. Like I said, Mike, you going to Vegas?
No, I'm not. My brother is going to go. My brother, I just saw him today, and he's got tickets already. He's all excited about it. I've never been to the Mountain West tournament. Someday I got to go. My wife is bugging me like we have to make this trip someday, but it won't be this year, unfortunately.
Later turns into never, right?
Do it.
And so, like, this is the second year. This is the second time I've gone. The first time I went was 19 when I met Mateo, and then we ended up having a mutual friend, and we started the podcast. I told Matt, I said, if I moved to Reno, I might have never went to the tournament.
Yeah, I haven't been to Mountain West. I've been to the NCAA tournament a lot, and that's kind of what I like to go to. I like to find ways to get to the NCAA tournament. There's one. I've been to 2 Final Fours. Okay. I've been to several Sweet 16s. I was there. My favorite memory, Sweet 16, was I was there when Bo Kimball hit a left-handed free throw. Wow. Gathers up in Oakland against playing Loyola Marymount. That was amazing. They're selling T-shirts out in the parking lot that Bo knows, and it wasn't for Bo Jackson. It was for Bo Kimball. And that was one of my first experiences. I got to see Steve Nash play for Santa Clara out in Arizona at a tournament. I was there at the first one at AT&T, what's his name? Jerry Jones.
Jerry World.
I got to.
All right, enough. We get it. You've been to a lot of so, we get it. Hey, I've been to Mountain West tournament. I've been to Final Fours, Sweet 16. Okay, now, all right, we win, bro. I get it.
Mountain West, I get it. It's important.
I'd love to have you out sometime.
It's not like, where I've been. So I appreciate you calling me out, but You know.
No, but I appreciate you.
There's nothing like seeing Barrel Man and the Wyoming fan base out there, dude. Come on, man. Snake and the Pit faithful showing up in Viejas East.
I think that's immediate karma. I think that's what that just was.
No, Mike T, I got respect for you, man. Hey, I appreciate it because I would like to go to the Mountain West tournament games, see it one time for sure. Like I said, the wife's been bugging me. She loves Vegas. She'd love to be out there for that tournament. So, maybe next year we can make a trip of it with Sons and make it something out there.
Yeah, that'd be fun, dude. That'd be a good time. It'd be fun to get all the guys out there together.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's good stuff. That is good stuff. Well, we can't wait. These games, like you said, I love it. These games, you only got 3 of them guaranteed. So everybody show up. If you're not going to show up at A.O. Smith again this Tuesday, show up Saturday against Wyoming. And guys, thank you guys for joining the show. Love chopping it up with you guys. And man, make sure if you're watching or listening, subscribe on the YouTube channel. Make sure you're following us on Apple, Spotify, all that good stuff. And of course, sonsofmontezuma.com for all of our articles and other episodes. And of course, our merchandise with Lamont Butler, Nathan Mensah, and all the other goodies that you can get there at sonsofmontezuma.com. Guys, thank you for joining. Let's go on Tuesday.
Very true. Hey, Mike T, man, I just got a comment. Love the Jim Lee artwork, baby. Man, ain't nothing like Jim Lee artwork.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, I got those at Comic-Con when I was down in San Diego. I did it where it's Batman and Superman and then one in the middle. So I love that stuff. To me, I love Batman. I've always loved Batman, but Superman.
No offense. First Comic-Con, 1977.
Excuse me?
That's the first one I went to, 1977.
Oh, shit, man. I wasn't even born, dude.
That's how old I am.
Yeah, you see it change a lot, though. I mean, it's awesome. I love the Comic-Con stuff. It's such a great, cool thing for the city, and you can't go wrong with superheroes. Everybody needs
1,000%. But you got good taste. You got Jim Lee out there. Absolutely good taste. I already knew that because you're a big Aztec fan, but even more respect for the Jim Lee stuff, man.
Thanks, good talking with you. And then, go Aztecs. I will be in the house on Saturday night against the University of Wyoming Cowboys. We're going to steal their girls and pour a little sugar in their Dixie cups and get that W.
Yeehaw, yippee-ki-yay.
I'll be there. My Section D, as always. I'll be there.
Okay. Nice. Come out and support the seniors this time. We got We got a rope. Mensah, Bradley. Seiko. Is that it?
Yep. No, then you also got Johnson, senior, Ledee, senior, Trammell.
They can stay another year, both of them, correct?
Correct, but they haven't made any announcement yet. They haven't decided, as far as I know. So the potentially is 7 players off this roster next year.
I would love to see and Trammell as a senior too, but he's got another year of eligibility as well. So I think we have a good core if we bring back Trammell and Ledee and Keyshawn. Honestly,
we'll get into all that. Hopefully, we can do this again. Maybe next Sunday if you guys are available.
All right, Tail. Thank you so much for the invite, man. Been a pleasure.
All right, guys. Go Aztecs.
All right, guys. Go Aztecs.
Go Aztecs.
No finish line. Future's looking bright. Boys coming in. X Names, LB, and Jamal Frank.